Country is a symbolic notion of the connection and relationship between the three worlds, natural, human and spiritual, which together make up the Aboriginal perspective. Country is everything, from the land to the animals, and how these things interact and form a balance alongside each other. Throughout this video, we will discuss how using Aboriginal pedagogy and perspective can provide both students and teachers with an understanding of how to effectively incorporate country into the classroom, improving students' learning development. Wiradjuri country, located within southwestern New South Wales, is home to the Murrumbidgee catchment, which runs directly through the centre of the land. The country is also home to the goanna, a local native species which is portrayed in Garrawoo, a local Dreamtime story which communicates the creation of the Murrumbidgee River. The story states that the land of the Wiradjuri country was stricken with drought, as there was no catchment or water source available for the animals, and as a result, they were malnourished and dying from dehydration. The only animals which were not impacted by this was the goannas. The goanna husbands knew of a secret water supply hidden up in the snowy mountain ranges nearby. The goanna wives wanted to share the supply with the other animals, but the goanna husbands were a selfish bunch and decided it was best to keep it to themselves. One brave wife decided enough was enough and led her sisters to the safer side of the hill, before following the husbands up into the mountain ranges. Once she discovered the hidden location, she employed the help of warrior helpers called Tafrans, which informed her of the next set of instructions. She proceeded to force her yam stick deep into the side of the mountain, releasing the water. The water flowed down the snowy mountains and through the flat Wiradjuri country, forming the Murrumbidgee River and destroying the homes of their selfish husbands in the process. Using Aboriginal pedagogies such as the 8 Ways framework or the holistic approach allows us as teachers to deliver Aboriginal teachings in and out of the classroom. The 8 Ways framework states that this Aboriginal pedagogy doesn't necessarily mean delivering Aboriginal knowledge as content, but as a process. Each of the 8 areas can be broken up and combined in order to suit the learning styles of the individuals, helping them to learn topics through an Aboriginal perspective. The holistic approach highlights having respect and harmony for all living things as they work in a collaborative balance. This can be achieved through mindfully implementing Aboriginal teaching strategies such as yarning with Aboriginal community members, including nature or people, allowing learning opportunities on and through country. Using these approaches in the class in order to create a hands-on atmosphere alongside Aboriginal teaching allows for students to learn collaboratively through country and their area's Aboriginal community members. Focusing on the Murrumbidgee River and the goanna, a hands-on activity which could help portray these two approaches include creating a landscape using natural resources in order to create the atmosphere from the desired story. Focus questions of: why did we create this learning space? What is happening in the scene? In your own words, explain why country is important, and what did you learn from the story? Can be analysed throughout the activity in order to gauge students' process before, during and after. Students are given tote trays in order to collect materials for the activity, such as toy animals or something to represent them, natural elements such as dirt, water, leaves and bark, and select their individual learning space, where they place the learning experience. This can be on country, in the classroom, in the sunshine, etc. Students read the Dreamtime story, or have it read aloud to them, and discuss the key ideas and the main messages of the story, such as not being selfish and sharing with others. Students begin creating the landscape of the story using the materials they've collected in their tote trays. For example, students can represent the water forming the river using dirt to create a guided path for the river to follow, and water and straws to execute its release. The activity can be differentiated for each stage group to complete. Stage 3 could complete this activity at an independent level. Stage 2 can work in small groups, and early Stage 1 and Stage 1 can work together as a whole class. It can also be adapted to suit the needs and capabilities of individual students regardless of stage. Altogether, both the hands-on task, 8 Ways framework, and the holistic approach allows for students to gain an understanding of the connections formed between themselves and country and how they can be taught through educational environments.